What is good, ladies and gentlemen? I know it's been a while, but welcome back to another video from Mavro Productions. Today we start the series. This is the World Cup prediction series. We're going to predict every single group in the World Cup, and then after we predict every group, you know the drill, round of 16, quarters, semis, etc. until we have our winner. I thought I'd do it in a little bit of a series because if I just do one massive video, you lose interest, I lose interest, and there's just no real point. If we do a series, you guys are going to wonder, oh, who's he going to predict next? Who's he going to think is going to win this group? So we're going to put them in groups, and so you don't have to skip through the video. If you just want to watch your team's group, we can have that too. So without further ado, let's get underway. However, before we do get underway, I have started a new podcast. It is under Mavro Productions' name. However, it is called Thrillos Global. So for you Olympiacos fans out there, that's for you. Or even for Greek football fans that just want to hear the opinion of Olympiacos fans, based down under. The link will be in the description. It is a new podcast. Go and support that. New episodes are coming out. Our first episode has been recorded and it's up and running on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, you name it. So the first group we have is Group A. Obviously, you have your hosts, Qatar. That is how you pronounce the country. Qatar, Senegal, Netherlands, and Ecuador. So I thought we will start with the hosts, Qatar. I'm not going to go into any politics as to, humanitarian violations, why they shouldn't host the World Cup, this and that. This is purely predictions based on the football sides. I don't want to bring politics into it. Politics on football, we don't want to have any of that. Qatar, it is their first World Cup, which they basically got in because they host. So the hosts always host the World Cup. That's just how it works. All their players play in their domestic league, the Qatar Stars League. It is pretty biased. I mean, like half of their team play for Al Sadd, Al Duhail, and Al Gharafa. So there's not really much spreading out when it comes to Qatar and their football players. However, what I think is going to happen, they're going to finish bottom of the group. Bottom, and I think they're going to be one of the worst teams in the tournament. Now, I hope that this doesn't backfire and they end up being a wild card, but I don't think they're even going to be a wild card. I mean, when you have most of your players playing in your domestic league, when you have a group like this, where you have players that are playing for some of the most elite clubs in the world, it's not going to look good for you. So I think they're going to finish fourth and they're going to get 0 points. And their captain, again, plays for Al Sadd, so there's not really much diversity when it comes to football in Qatar. Moving on, we have Ecuador. It is their fourth World Cup. They only have 5 domestic league players that play in Ecuador. Most of them play in Europe, all scattered throughout Europe. Obviously, the main star player that most of you would know is Enner Valencia, former Everton, former West Ham player. He's now in Turkey. He is probably their best player still. However, Ecuador have a promising squad. They have quite a young squad. Many of their defenders between the age of 20-25. I mean, the only real concern is their goalkeepers are pretty old. They have a young goalkeeper who's their third keeper, but other than that, their goalkeeping is pretty old, but they have quite a young squad. And I reckon it could surprise a few people. Gonzalo Plata, he's definitely someone that you could watch out for. Played for Sporting Lisbon. He's now at Valladolid. He can get a result there. I think they're going to get third. I think they could scrape away with one win, which probably be against Qatar. And they'll finish comfortably with 3 points, I think. And they will finish third. Next, we have the two, if you probably haven't guessed by now, these are going to be the two people that I think are going to come first and second. Who will come first and second, you're about to find out. We have Senegal. African brothers, probably the team that I will be supporting in this group. I want the African nations to do well. We have Senegal. It is their third World Cup. This should be one of their best yet. They got knocked out in the groups in Russia. Every single player in their squad plays overseas in Europe. So that just shows you the caliber of their players and how good they are. Obviously, we have Mendy in their goals. You have Koulibaly, who's their captain, holding that back line and constructing it really well, who just signed for Chelsea. So really exciting to see him in the Premier League. And you have a midfield with Gay, Idrissa Gay, Kouyaté, and you've got Mane and Sarr up top. I mean, those names alone all have played in England Koulibaly, Chelsea. Idrissa Gueye played for Everton. Kouyaté, West Ham, now Crystal Palace. Mane played for Liverpool. Sad to see him go, but we move and digress. And Sarr plays for Watford, who just got relegated. But they all have Premier League experience. So Qatar are going to struggle against Senegal. I think Qatar are going to get whitewashed against Senegal and the Netherlands. I'm talking like absolute demoralization. They're going to be like, maybe we should not host the World Cup. There's my say on that, and that's the only say you're going to get. Senegal is going to come second. They will obviously go through. I think they're going to beat the Netherlands. I think it's going to be top. It's going to be tough at the top. It's going to be 6-6, and it's going to come down to that goal difference. It's going to come down to that. I'm telling you, it's going to come down to that. Just keep your eyes peeled once it happens, and you'll be, Mavro Productions was right. Next, we have Netherlands. Want to make a name for themselves. Last World Cup, they weren't there. They didn't make the World Cup. They've had a few disappointments, coming third, being runners-up, all that type of jazz. They want to go the whole way and claim their spot as the best country in the world in football. The Lions, the Orange, have the squad. I mean, you have Sillerson in goals, plays in Spain. You've got big Virgil van Dijk. I mean, what a beauty of a man. What a specimen. If you don't know me, you can probably guess who I go for just by simply saying that. He is going to be a nightmare against these strikers. I mean, I don't know how the Qatar strikers are going to cope against Van Dijk, who keeps so many clean sheets that he could do a poo in the bed and he'll still manage to keep a clean sheet. That's just how insane he is. And all credit goes to that Liverpool house that has that poster. I did not come up with that. You've got Frankie de Jong. I've had the privilege of meeting. Solid guy, not bad. Hopefully he doesn't go to United because that would be annoying. You've got him in the middle who's just going to control that midfield so well. He is a Dutch Kevin De Bruyne. And you've got Memphis Depay who plays for Barcelona. I mean, you're going to compare the strikers of all these other clubs, all these other teams, and then you've got the striker for Barcelona playing for Netherlands. So it's going to be quite a catastrophe for Qatar, this World Cup. That's just my opinions. I feel like this World Cup is going to be an embarrassment to them, and we will definitely see that once it happens. They're going to come top of the group, but as I said, it's going to come down to goal difference. So Netherlands versus Senegal, that's the game to decide who is going to win the group. Okay, that is going to be the game. I'll be thoroughly disappointed if Senegal do not go through. If they do not go through, it has been another disappointing World Cup for them. So yeah, those are my official standings. Little graphic here, you're going to have Qatar last, Ecuador third, Senegal second, Netherlands first. In that order, watch this space. This has been Mavro Productions. Be sure to stay tuned for the next episode of the series where we are going to predict Group B, which is going to be a very interesting group, very United Kingdom based group, that one. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Go listen to the podcast now if you've got 40 spare minutes and you want to hear my voice, not as frequently, but you want to hear it again. Be sure to head on over to that. Give it a rating. It'll help us out 1 million. And yeah, I will leave you in the lovely hands of Adam Lafondra.
Subscribe to Mavro Productions.